Starting. Here we go. All right, I think we're live now. Hey everyone. Hopefully this is working. If not, well then I'm talking to no one. But if it is, I'm Christian. I'm with Keith
Hello.
and also with Anderson.
We're going now.
Yeah, it's me. I'm having tech issues, so I'm
Yeah.
figuring it out. But yeah,
And Anderson, do you
I think
have
you're just gonna see my pretty hands.
Do you have your headphones in?
No, do you hear an echo?
Yes, we do. As much as I love
Oh
the
my
sound of my own voice. So,
This is my favorite. Okay, give me a sec. I'll grab some headphones.
Is he echoing?
there we go.
Whoa.
You know,
I wish
it's fine.
YouTube shouldn't keep like the whole thing. Can you cut it down after the fact?
Possibly, but I think most of it just stays.
I'm literally falling apart here, you guys. Like,
It's good. It's a good second episode.
This is a nightmare.
I think it's going fine. I think it's more people enjoy it a lot. I think they like seeing us.
It's authentic or whatever garbage.
It's indie. It's like an A24 movie.
Oh, that is way too blown out.
Huh. Hey Christian.
What's up?
So did you make a whole nother live stream just now?
I think
'Cause
so.
There's currently two.
Is
One of
there
them's
two?
live. One of them's live and one of them is upcoming, and it's showing that two people are sitting in the other one waiting.
Oh. What the hell happened with that?
Yeah, you write a comment and then you delete that one.
Yeah, that one's not coming anymore.
I have to sign in. I can't do it.
It's not coming?
Nope. Because it wouldn't let me. It said I had to manage mine.
Yeah. No, I just on your end in your tool or dashboard or something. I didn't know if it had it still there
No,
as something you could chuck away.
Since I don't have access to Anderson's YouTube on my own phone, I can't really delete it. We got one that's live.
I can see about fixing this on my end.
This is a good time. I'm having a blast as we're trying to figure all this out. Let me see if I can possibly delete it.
That's what I was thinking you would do.
It's not even on my thing anymore. That's what's so crazy. Yeah,
okay.
It's not on mine.
Okay.
So,
well,
we just got to share a link to the new one.
And we are live now.
Yep, we're live right now.
All right. Oh, post. We're gonna live.
Well, I'm sorry you don't get to see my pretty mug. Don't really know what the deal was there.
Man, I wish that we could push these into our stories.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Like basically stream again.
Yeah, because you know, I feel like a lot more people would be interested in that.
I mean, I'm slowly trying to figure out more stuff with how to do all that. So, yeah, I think Anderson, if at any point you could delete the other one, I have Comic Hellboy's Hangout. So.
Yeah, I see the other one. I just don't see a way to delete it.
Yeah. I'm not sure either. Anyways. I think I'll fill up the void while everyone's sharing up some stuff, and I'll probably share some myself.
Yeah.
I think we have
live now.
Live now, as we
live now. Oh, you fixed it?
Yeah. I deleted that other stream. That's all I fixed.
Oh.
I didn't fix the actual important thing.
Okay.
You could see me and Keith very clearly.
Y'all ready?
I was born ready.
All right. That's my razor blade.
I'm gonna transition to that.
That's weird.
You guys like the background that I did? Or that
To
I
what?
filmed? To our
I actually,
video
well, because
stream.
we can't see the YouTube stream.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
We can only
it was a lot of work that I wanted you guys to like. That's why. It's fine.
Yeah,
All right, well, I'm just gonna
no big
put my
deal.
face down and draw. The best part about my setup that you don't get to see because you don't get to see my pretty face, is that I'm wearing a Christmas hat, a Santa hat, Christmas hat.
But
Santa
no,
hat.
I like the idea. I like Christmas hat because what else is it gonna be?
That's true. But my camera that's facing down, looking at my Hellboy drawing, is literally right in my face. So there's just no convenient way for me to have set this up.
Oh,
Because of where my computer is situated in my studio, I basically moved my traditional studio over to my digital studio space.
but the
Which is a
camera
pain.
you're using right now, is that your DSLR?
No, my DSLR was gonna be the one looking at my face because it was stationary, and lighter, so it wasn't gonna obstruct my view. But
Is this
that's
a
what's annoying,
laptop
is
camera?
I'd figured out how to do that. This is the one that's normally looking at my face while I screen capture.
Yeah,
Anywho,
I've got mine's mounted to the bracket of this light directly in front of my face. I don't know if you can see that, Anderson.
okay, yeah.
I
But,
can move
yeah,
it
you can-
to that so the viewers
see,
can see
well-
it as well. See your hand.
Mm. Mm.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think I can actually share this stuff now.
Cool.
Also, if anybody's watching right now, which is it's Stinker Buns, one of the guys I know.
Stinker bugs.
I'm on the chat, so if you have anything you would like to say to me and not them, I will keep it to myself and make it like a little inside joke. But if there's anything you guys would like to tell Keith or Anderson, let me know, and I'll let them know. They're busy drawing or inking or being really good
Whatever.
artists.
Something like that.
So,
Just not very tech savvy, that's all.
hey, I don't think any of us really are, except maybe Keith.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
Let's go with
okay.
that.
I'm
But,
okay.
yeah, let me
I'm
make a
cl-
quick
I'm-
story so people know.
I'm classic fixing people's computers on the holidays.
Your parents or everyone?
Yeah, like parents, grandparents, that kind of thing.
That's nice.
Grandparents.
You're like a real hero.
You know, I get that a lot.
From yourself or other people?
That's personal.
Yeah.
So, Anderson, tell me what you got there.
Well, this is the oh my gosh.
From yourself?
What's happening?
Ooh, Echo.
This is Hellboy fighting some sort of snake tentacle monster thing.
Wormy.
Cuz Hellboy won the poll for who we should draw tonight.
Yeah, I was hoping for a Bizarro win because I've never
Yes.
drawn that before. I mean, I was really hoping when I first put the thing up and I put Frankenstein out there, I was hoping it would go Frankenstein because I wanted to go with like the Bernie Wrightson Frankenstein.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, where he's got like no nose and the long hair.
Yeah, see, I didn't include Frankenstein because I couldn't think of a comic, but Bernie Wrightson, yeah, that I had totally forgotten about that vibe.
Yeah.
There we
But
go.
then you snuck Ghost Rider in there, and I said, "Oh heck,
I did.
I don't want to draw Ghost Rider. I don't want to draw fire right now. I just want to have a good time."
Want to have a good time. Have you guys actually read the Hellboy's comics?
Yes. All the way through. I have through volume 5, so I haven't actually like, quote unquote, completed it. But it's so anthology-esque, right? That you can kind of pop in, pop out, and it's more about like the vibe, right? There's this one short story. I forget It's in the Chained Coffin and Other Stories, and he just like hunts down this little goblin in a tower with iron shoes, and that's the whole comic.
Yeah. Isn't it called Iron Shoes?
I think it's Iron Shoes. Yeah. Am I supposed to remember that?
He's just a little guy who's all about stomping.
It's a stomper.
I got my heavy feet.
So. All right,
But yeah, I suspected Hellboy was gonna win.
Hellboy's just super popular right now.
He's perennially popular.
Yeah, I think he's golden. I think everyone's having a blast with him.
Except for those filmmakers.
Did you guys ever see
him unable to do like a proper movie?
A lot of studio interaction.
I guess the first one. I mean, the first one with Ron Perlman was pretty great.
Yeah. Well, that was also Guillermo del Toro, because they were like, just do whatever you want.
And I mean, the second one, the Golden Army.
Yep.
Yeah.
I really liked it. It just fell a little flat, but like he nailed the world, of course, because Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah. But not the tone.
But not the tone. That's right. Yeah.
That's what's always going to be the problem, is that no one's going to want to do that tone. No one's going to want to do the quiet, pensive thing.
I mean, really, Hellboy would just the BPRD would be a great like mini-series, you know, but like if you were gonna do it in that medium. I mean, it's so perfect in comics, you know. And I heard who was it? I heard someone talking about you should make comics that you can't make into another medium. That like you can't make a movie.
That sounds like
then
a
you're
Brad
actually
K.
using
Bond thing.
Because then you're actually making like a comic like for the medium, right? As opposed to anything else. But I think a great example of that is Jesse Lonergan. Have you guys read any of his books?
Yeah.
No.
He's the artist on Van Jensen's Arca.
That's the only one I've read.
He's done a lot of other like short stories that I've read, but
it's the
his
only
stuff
comic you've ever read.
No, his comics, you can't really translate them into film or anything, because the way that he uses the panels in his storytelling, it's like it only works as a comic, I think.
That's cool. There's a few of them. I feel like it. Like, honestly, the biggest one is Saga. They literally said they didn't want it to be made into a movie or show.
Huh.
So that's why they keep adding weird stuff to it. Also, Stinker Buns says he likes your pinky glove, Anderson.
Oh, thank you. Yes, this is... At this point, it's more habit than anything. But it does technically reduce friction on the page. And it helps not to smear, but it's not perfect in that.
Sure. I think it looks stylish. I like
mostly it. Mostly it's just fashionable. It's just a fashion statement.
It works. Yeah. How was your guys' Thanksgiving? Let's start with that.
Good.
Anything
I
fun?
played
Anything
pickleball.
interesting? Ooh.
You what?
Did you play pickleball?
Seems high class.
I've never played pickleball.
It's pretty good. Pretty fun.
Not bad.
It's like it has the speed and like joy of ping pong, but on the scale of tennis.
I mean, that sounds like badminton.
Yeah, better than that.
Pickleball is like you hit it against the wall, right?
No, that's racquetball.
Cool. That's one of the balls. One of the sports balls. That's all I really know.
Yeah, no, it's played like essentially on a tennis court. It's just slightly smaller than a tennis court.
Yeah.
And it's very fast paced.
Sounds like badminton. I don't know what you're hitting on the minton for. Because that game is real fast.
What about you, Keith? Anything interesting happen for Thanksgiving?
No, nothing to share.
Just
just a
nothing in it.
just a normal get together with the family.
What'd you eat? What was your favorite thing that you ate?
Do you know about my like food anxieties?
Nope.
Oh,
Oh shoot, bro!
Anderson knows all about
I do
that
know all about
stuff.
this.
Well, I
My
feel.
favorite thing was probably the jellied cranberry sauce.
Oh, that's sweet. That's really wholesome.
It's
That's
very Thanksgiving-y.
It's the only time I have it. And
Well,
it's but I only like the kind that's in the shape of a can. It
weird.
always bums me out when people take it out and then they like squish it around with a fork to to undo
Yeah, you have to
the canniness of it.
yeah, you have to
I
present it in can form. What are we doing?
Well, no, I like it as a can, but then you slice it into little
Yeah.
half-inch
Yeah.
or
Yes,
discs,
yeah.
and then you lay it out. You know?
Serve it like that.
Yeah, that's just me though.
And that's nice.
That is the
But
proper way to do it. So
I
Sounds
generally
like a
think
good meal.
the topic of what I do and don't eat is a really boring thing to talk about.
Yeah.
That's just my
because
feeling.
basically it's everything in the don't category.
Yeah.
What about deviled eggs?
Hey, that's not happening. I
What?
didn't eat mayonnaise. This year was the first year I started eating mayonnaise.
That's,
Um,
that's
when I kind of
interesting.
realized, when I realized what it was, I opened up to like, okay, I went to a burger place and I wanted to not order something special, not have to say I want it plain, because I always do that. That's how it's always I want it plain. And there was something on the menu and it had all this stuff on it, and it did have mayo, and I said, I'm just gonna get it.
I'm just gonna do it.
And it turns out all mayo does is just add a little moisture. Like it doesn't have
That's
much.
really it.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
have much flavor to it.
Yeah.
So so that
It's
was
just
my adventure.
Glad you
Uh,
could join us in the
Now that being said, I haven't had mayonnaise again since that day. But
Alright, well,
Oh, lucky you.
yeah. We'll take what we can get.
Well, good for you. I'm happy you got to get out of your comfort zone and try something new.
it happens every now and then.
Yeah.
Food's a little, it's a little bit of an anxious thing for me. Don't know why.
That's interesting. Didn't know that about you. See, we're learning new things about each other. It's bringing people together.
Okay.
You guys want to talk about our three biggest fears?
Three biggest fears.
What? Three
Yeah.
biggest fears.
Mm.
Okay. Kristian, you should go first while I think about it.
All right.
Set the tone.
I'll start with we'll start with one. How about that? We'll make it easy for you
Three
guys.
biggest fears. Heavens.
I think
could think of two.
Well, mine, I think, are like puppets and like scary dolls, like Chucky and stuff like that.
That's a pretty basic thing to be afraid of.
Okay, all right.
I'm not saying that in a judgmental way. I was just saying like that's pretty
judgmental
like
there.
No, I mean people make movies to target exactly you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I feel targeted, and I do not like it at all. It is rough. It hurts, and I get scared every time a new Chucky trailer drops. So, it's great. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. Well, Anderson decided to make a comic in which he laid out what he was afraid of in the comic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
I might have heard of it.
In the bio section of Fear Hunters.
I might have heard about that comic.
It's all right.
I think it's a good comic.
No, it's a good comic. In the back of that I list my fear. I forget the actual name of the phobias. I was trying
Intimacy.
to got him. No, it's the fear of losing my right hand. But like the technical phobia name was like apotemo, but it's the fear of what's it called when you get a limb removed?
Amputation.
Amputation. Yeah. So it's the fear of amputation is what I like listed it as like a proper phobia. But yeah, like if I, it's kind of one of those things where it seems totally, it doesn't seem as much like a phobia, because I feel like a phobia is supposed to be a irrational fear. But yeah,
I don't think that's necessarily true.
I don't know.
I mean,
it's just how I think of it usually. But yeah, I think yeah, the fear of losing my right hand. Because then I think it's because it would be so infuriating, because I would know that I would just need to learn how to draw with my left hand, and that would just take forever.
Yeah.
Even though it would probably be easier for me than, someone who doesn't draw to
Yeah, I don't
learn
think
how
it
to
would
do it.
take that long.
I'd just be so infuriated that I have to like go through that process. So
that would understandable. All right, Keith, you got something you want to beat me with?
Beat you with? What does that mean?
I mean,
like it's not
me.
basic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like my basic thing. I'm really bad with needles.
Okay. I wasn't trying to. I was
been
trying to
that
start
way my
small.
whole life. I'm still that way. I'm still like, all right, nurse, you're gonna have to like come in close, and I have to put my arm around you, and like
you're like a dog.
If somebody is feeling generous, otherwise it's like pulling up a chair or something and like grabbing it and pulling it into my body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Less basic is like I'm not good with water, but specifically like large bodies of water, and more specifically big things in water.
Interesting.
So like yeah, so things, and this might be like Anderson knows, like I'm big on like shipwrecks and Titanic stuff and all that. And I think a big part of that is because like there's a fascination with it, because I'm so afraid of things like that. And
yeah.
I'll get the heebie-jeebies. Did you ever see like The Life of Pi?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can't
Yeah.
imagine you in that situation.
Yeah, so like that opening with the ship when it sinks, and then he looks back and he sees the ship like sinking away, and the lights are still on the ship, but you see it sinking away, and it's this huge ship and it's underwater. That thing just like made it like turn my gut over.
Interesting.
Or one time I was playing I loaded up a custom map in Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
That was it was the Titanic in port in Belfast.
Yeah.
And I was just running around on the deck, and I accidentally walked off the side of it, and I hit the water, and it had physics, so I kept going down. So I hit the water and then poof, down, and then it was like poof, down, and then I'm below it, and I'm seeing like the whole like keel of the ship, and I'm underwater with it, and that immediately just like full body goosebumps. Like wasn't ready for that. There's something about like big stuff in and underwater that just gets my little lizard brain.
Is it just
firing
like
off?
Not knowing what's underneath? Is that what terrifies you? Like, I was reading because I was reading a book about cryptids recently, and one of the things like people are afraid. Okay, yeah, of course I was. I like to learn more.
No, I mean because of your book.
Oh, yeah. My old book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to plug that later. Okay. Anyways.
But yeah, one of the fears is that people know what the water is, but it's just like, what if there's something under there that I can't see?
Yeah.
So that's what I think about.
Yeah, no, dude, the ocean is just not cool. Like in all of its coolness. Cool, bro. It's like
I don't get freaked out by the idea of like a big creature in the water.
What I don't like in the ocean is when it's just like that misty blue that you can't parse through. You know what I'm talking about?
Like an
and then
opaque.
like suddenly there's like a shark like 5 feet away from you. You know,
Yeah.
like it just comes out of absolute nothing.
There's an art
right
piece I bought a while ago, and I really liked it, mostly because it, like, 1/4 of it is a small ship on a bright sunny day, and then they're on the water, they're completely by themselves, and then the 3/4 of the art is just these monsters all about to like break. Like, it's just filled with these terrifying looking creatures.
Ooh.
And I love it, and I have it in my house, and it's actually in my bedroom. But every time I look at it, I'm like, ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
But
That's gnarly.
I don't think it's as scary as puppets, though.
Yeah, I don't think those things are scary at all.
Marionette puppets?
No, I got a marionette puppet on my shirt.
Yeah. I don't like
Just
that.
for you.
Yeah. I mean,
Well-
you thought it was just a ballerina, but it turned out it was a marionette ballerina.
Yeah.
Life size.
I was telling somebody about my fears once, and one of them was finding someone.
How much were you paying them?
None. Luckily, when you're a manager at work, you can just tell people whatever you want.
Excuse me. Can I help you with anything?
Actually,
No? Well,
now
let
you
me tell
mention
you
it.
about my fears.
Look, it's a good conversation piece.
I'm gonna use you as my own personal counseling.
As you were saying,
But it's funny that you say how much I were paying them, because I also told them my other fear was finding someone that I want to spend the rest of my life with, which I feel like I have, and them dying within a year or two. And then I have to live the rest of my life without them.
Yeah.
that gets way scarier if you're like, and there's a kid.
Yeah.
Or does it get better? It might be better. Because then it's like, you're not
no, it's
alone.
definitely it's
You're
definitely
sharing the
just as-
pain.
It's just a terrible
Anderson,
bad-
I think Keith and I would know better if it's worse or better.
Oh, do you? Do you think that you would know better?
I think as the two people here who don't have kids, as far as I know, Keith, you don't have any kids, right?
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
Well, just for today's episode, here he is, Keith's long lost son,
we had a fourth video.
Keith Jr. And that's when my video turns on and I actually get to show. That'd be great. No, yeah, it's I have thought about that before.
It's
I
scary,
think
right?
about that all the time, but I don't. Nope. Yeah,
But
because I'm like, shoot, I don't.
That would just suck.
I don't know how I could continue. You know, like it's a lot.
Yeah. I told somebody those were my two fears, and they were like, also told them my other fear would be like being Russell Crowe in Beautiful Mind and finding out that people I'm talking to aren't real. And they're like, oh, all your fears have to do with lack of control. And I said, oh, I don't like that. I don't like how I was diagnosed.
You're like you actually learned something about me. I don't know.
Stop looking at me. Buy your fancy craft soda and go away. They sell craft soda at work, right?
You could say Trader Joe's. I tell people I work at Trader Joe's all the time.
I'm not trying to, pass out a bunch of personal information.
I mean, we
wanna
did
dox
start
you,
talking
bro.
about our fears.
Yeah, fears doesn't include your address. On that topic, how weird do you feel about mailing stuff out to people?
Oh, it is
Like
kind
a
of funny.
mail-
I do. No, I definitely think about that when I send out a commission. I'm like, my return address is on here. That's kind of.
Well,
Yeah,
that's why
there's
people
like,
do
'Cause
P.O.
if-
boxes.
I know, but I'm not gonna pay for a PO box.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
not that. It's
that's
not
what
cheap.
sucks about being like the size of a self-made business I am. Like,
Yeah.
there's some of these things that are like definite perks, like a PO box, that I'm like, I can't really justify that right now.
Yeah. I look
but
at
that
it
would
every
be
once in a
super
while.
handy.
I've thought about it before, because I think like during my first Kickstarter campaign, I was mailing stuff out. I was like, my address is on here. I was like, well, oh well. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like like 100 people. Just have my address now.
Yeah.
I'm not really much of a worrywart, so it doesn't really bother me all too much. And there's like the secret part of me that's like, I like getting
Come
mail,
at me, bro.
so
Well, I like getting mail. I mean, I'd be stoked if just random people started sending me stuff.
You
Fun
hear that?
stuff.
You heard that here first, folks. Start sending Keith stuff.
if
That'd
you
be
have his
great.
address, but
Yeah.
to get his address, you have to buy something from him. So
Yes.
that's the scam.
Yeah.
That's the scam. If you're looking for the
Included.
scam.
I will include my address free with every order. My
Uh,
my
he
personal. You
enjoys.
can.
He enjoys if you send him food, specifically ones he's never tried before.
Yes. Yes. I like the turn that this took.
Yeah.
Home
There we go. Full
homemade
circle.
food. Yeah, I don't like. I don't like restaurants that much. I don't like going places where they make food where you can't see it.
That's
Most
is
places.
like. So do you
So,
like hibachi?
yeah, it's
You
okay.
seem like you would. Yeah, you seem like you would love hibachi. That's like
That
built
seems like right up your alley. You see everything in front of you.
Yeah, I like hibachi. I like sushi. I like going to like those like burrito places, like where they make the burrito, on like a Subway,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Where they
I
make
really
a
wish
burrito
you'd just
like a
finish the
Subway.
sentence. I wish you'd finish the sentence right before that though, where you're like, where they make the burrito. Be like, yeah,
where they make the
like,
burrito in
Yeah.
front of you, and
Okay.
all the prep stations is out in the open right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that might come from like a lot of experience working in restaurants where I'm just like
That's fair.
the standards here and the people that work in restaurants, you don't get paid enough to be that careful.
You don't get paid enough to care.
That's fair.
Like like you definitely get paid enough not to get people sick. Like we don't want to say that, but there's some things where you're just like,
There's a few places
Well,
I've been into where they're serving stuff, and then I see someone just straight up cough in their hand, and then keep making it. I'm like, I don't need to buy food here.
There is just like the what's it called? Oh, there was a really great word I just had for it. But like the shifting of responsibility, right? Where you're just like, it's not really like the buck doesn't really stop with me. So
Yeah.
a standard can get lowered like that. But yeah, I worked in food industry or like service food and restaurant industry. What am I trying to say?
What restaurant did you work at, or food industry?
I worked at a Chick-fil-A way back in like high school and college.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, not
Those
quite
are
like
high
Applebee's,
class.
but- Yeah,
Well, that's
that was
nice.
me.
Keith, what about you?
what?
You work anywhere super fancy? Like any restaurants you can name drop?
I've worked at Two Mellow Mushrooms
Ooh.
and like an upscale sports tavern. I was on the opening crew of that place. I was a cook there, and it was a weird place where it was like a sports bar, but it had you could get a filet mignon, and you could get like blackened salmon,
Yeah, that sounds
like
about right.
or like fried calamari, stuff like that, as well as like beer battered, like you make your own beer batter, like corn dogs, and yeah, where they tried to like fancy up a sports bar.
I would kill for that. I feel like not enough places make corn dogs and hot dogs.
Really?
Yeah. Like, name a place that serves hot dogs.
That is fair. The
See,
Battery,
taking you guys a while.
Truist Park.
Well, okay, that's a baseball place.
See,
Baseball place.
Yeah, sports ball.
hey, watch it.
I try to. How are the Braves doing, or is the season over?
Oh my gosh, that was yeah. The season's been over for 3 months
Yeah, Keith.
or 2.
What?
Come on, man. How'd you not know that?
Um, who ended up taking it? The Diamondbacks or the
They were in it.
Rangers?
The Rangers won. It was their first World Series win as a franchise. So
See,
fun stuff.
I at least knew that,
More than
and
what I know.
it's only because of that picture Anderson drew.
That's funny. Yeah, you're.
I'm not joking. I'm being 100% serious.
No, I don't doubt it. That sounds perfectly true.
Stinker Buns. Oh, hey. A few comments, by the way.
Oh shoot.
Because I'm behind on it. He said badminton is cool, but I feel uneasy saying shuttlecock. Understandably.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna get banned now that I said that.
Way to go. Thank you.
Hey, shut your cock.
Don't worry, I said this
No.
isn't safe for kids, so I think we're golden. The
Low
other one, he
effort.
said his fear is being a father.
Okay. Hey, it's not bad. It's really great actually.
It's perfectly natural.
It's very hard, but it is so rewarding.
It's probably
and
the
you know what's
easiest
great?
thing.
Oh yeah, definitely the easiest thing. No, the best thing is when, I mean, kids, at least my kids, have just like a goldfish memory, and it's like whiplash sometimes. Like they will be screaming in your face, and then you reconcile, and they go, "All right, let's go play. Let's go ride bikes." And you're like, "Oh my gosh, I need to like sit down for like an hour to decompress from what just happened." But dude, it is so much fun. I mean,
Oh, it's sweet.
I like your kids.
my kids are pretty great. They're also like, we've been very blessed. They've been super easy.
I mean, they clearly. I mean, they both do things where they'll do something, and me and Susan will look at each other and be like, "Well, not our problem, right?" High five. But it's cool when they're not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, when they do those things, I do look at them and I'm like, that's my problem. But it is so much fun. It's so rewarding. And, yeah.
That's
But-
nice.
And it is scary. Like it would be so dumb to tell someone that it's not worth being scared of, but it's the best thing to be scared of, I guess. Which is a weird way to say it, but
You can always go out for a pack of cigarettes.
yeah, I might take up smoking. Although I'm asthmatic, so if I go out for a pack of smokes, Laura's gonna be very sus.
That'd be really bad. I've never smoked anything in my life because of my asthma.
My asthma.
My asthma. I once.
Yeah, I'd like go out for vapes or something.
So young. I once almost got in trouble because I was with a few other people that were smoking the left-handed cigarettes.
Left-handed cigarettes.
Yeah. And somebody was like, "Oh, Kristian, are you smoking?" I think it was like some other adult walking by. I said, "No, I have asthma." And they thought I was lying, just being a smartass. But yeah, I think that's like my fourth biggest fear,
Your asthma?
Smoking?
And
Like
messing
smoking?
with my asthma.
Oh.
I will say I have always been like specifically terrified of like getting addicted, because then I'm like, oh, I can't control that. Like,
Yeah.
then I'm just screwed. Like,
Also, that's just a lot of money.
oh my gosh, yeah. That's what
Spend
that is
so much.
genuinely. Well, that's what I look at whenever anyone has like a daily hobby like that. Like, I don't drink coffee. I mean, the closest I get to like a daily thing is tea, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But even that, I have like different kinds, and sometimes I don't drink it. Like, so I think about like having like a cup of coffee every day, even, and I'm like, God, that just sounds exhausting and expensive. Oh, alcohol was the other one to me. I don't really drink, so I'm like, alcohol. Like I go to the bar sometimes and drink with friends socially, but
Yeah.
that's expensive.
It does.
Yeah.
It
That's
gets
why you just go to
expensive.
Costco and buy that $8 bottle of whiskey. That Kirkland whiskey.
Ugh. Ugh, that sounds
Oh man.
rough. It's
Oh, man.
that sounds a little rough.
Yeah.
Drinking that much.
Yeah. I'm not recommending that. That's not a personal anecdote or anything.
Sounds like a
I may have
personal
presented
anecdote.
it like it was.
It's
I've
definitely
been to
not
a,
though. Now that
I've
you're
been to a
questioning
Costco
me.
once as an adult. Wait, yeah, as far as I know, I've been to Costco once as an adult because my buddy wanted to show off their some kind of food situation, and it was horrible and just made me sick. So
And that's
Was it
when
the
his fear of food started.
it was pizza.
okay? So it wasn't the hot dog.
Nah, I wouldn't eat that.
Yeah, I've had the pizza before. Um,
Nah, it
I
wasn't
was
very
very
good.
hungry. I was very hungry at the time.
And they had these like churro things, but nothing to dip them in or anything. So it was like this big dry piece of bread covered in
Yeah,
granular sugar.
checks out.
Hilarious.
It was a bad time. I won't go into the specifics. Wait, hey, Anderson, what's this thing need?
Fire. Say fire. Say fire, Anderson.
I'm already kind of in on the not fire with the background as it is, so
I like the no, you can't see where I'm pointing. I like the under the corner of his mouth thing you got going on, but like
yeah,
the actual corner of his mouth, I feel like there should be a like something there. That makes
the
sense.
actual corner of his mouth.
Have you ever
Um,
read like
Oh, you're saying the actual corner of his mouth.
yeah.
I feel like he should have a
Have you
little.
ever read the like Mike Mignola? I mean, read it wasn't a book, but like the
have you ever read Mike
um
Manola?
oh shush
Like
Have you ever
the
his
read
palm.
just his
the
face?
design like his palm and like how the corners of his mouth are always supposed to disappear into the sides of his face.
What were you gonna say?
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, just the oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
and that's more
that's
of a like specifically his design of it. I've seen other
yeah,
people tackle
that
it, but like, he made this like Bible for
Ooh.
when other artists draw Hellboy, and that was one of the quote unquote rules.
Uh,
yeah.
I will say Iki has joined us. She does say smoke or
Oh
some kind of
hey, Iggy!
haze might fit.
What?
She's
Smoke.
smoke or some kind of haze. So
Is this?
Mm.
I
Was that a
Where's my
believe
comment?
that's
Like,
pencil?
I believe that's their suggestion.
Yeah.
oh, okay. As to what he should add. Sorry, I
Yeah.
lost context of what she was trying to add to.
I'm well,
Kind of up against the clock here. I'm gonna have to start adding some stuff.
I
Uh-oh,
was
this
thinking
became
like, oh, I could break out the gray and do some gray wash or something, but I just don't.
I basically just gotta fill in my darks here.
well, I want to try it. What does Hellboy look like?
Oh yeah, you're gonna do a quick sketch.
Yeah, you just give him a little nose, like keep it really close to his brow, right?
Cool.
And make the space between his nose and his top lip really big.
He's supposed to be very ape-like.
Cool. Let me do
Pretty prominent chin, deep set eyes, protuberant
got
brow.
this.
Dude, I cannot wait to see this.
And then
Oh, I
you,
don't.
you,
I don't like how
make
I'm
sure
starting this, but
you want to stick to like hostess Swiss rolls on his forehead.
I think I kind of got it.
Did you draw this beforehand and you're just acting like you're drawing right now?
I want that to be what's going on.
This is what I'm doing right now.
Okay, all right, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
hold up, hold
I
up.
see what you're working with. It's
That looks like
starting
a
to look
Chicago
the,
Bull logo right now.
No, you know who it's starting to look like? It's man, I don't know. I think it was from Johnny Phantom. Who's the skeleton character? What was he from?
Oh, Grim, Bill and Mandy.
Yes.
Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Yeah,
Dang it,
yeah.
that took forever.
I know he just has like a huge chin.
Grim Fan.
Susan J says needs more cats.
Oh.
Oh, well, yeah, that's fair.
And then
Yeah,
Iki agrees that.
Yeah, that is such a Susan thing to say.
You know, I agree with Susan though. I think Susan's on something here.
Like maybe.
Yeah, she's definitely on something.
You should listen to her more often.
Wait, is this the Susan I think it is? Because if not, I'm sorry for all the jokes I'm making about Susan. But if it is, then I'm happy to make these rude jokes.
Oh, it's probably the one you think it is.
Oh.
See, this is the point in the
We deserve
in
a
the
higher
drawing
caliber fan.
where I would normally take a picture of this with my iPad and then just kind of play around with a few things to see like what I want to do with it.
Yeah.
But right now, somebody might have my iPad and is currently watching the stream.
Oh.
So, I can just
thought
like
that you were about to say that you were gonna take a picture of it and critique, because that's all you've been doing all week.
is on the Cintiq.
No, sending it to me for critique.
Oh,
Well, that's
yeah,
nice.
yeah. Anderson's been helping me out.
Self-congratulatory there.
Yeah, because I've like working on a story and I'm halfway through it, and I send the pages off to the writer, and it's Van's editing, and both of them just no notes. It's great. I'm like,
That
cool
sucks.
guys.
Isn't that like the worst thing in the world?
I hate, and I try to tell people like, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. I really like. I want to get better, and I want to be better. So I need people pushing me. And just tell me stuff. And so then I was like, fine. I'm just sending this to Anderson. Anderson will tell me.
So I was like, this sucks. Fix that. Don't.
Anderson has made you cry a few times.
Yeah.
Only like those little moments where you really feel like you're being seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's been good, helpful stuff.
It's just so helpful to get a second pair. I'm about to send you some stuff soon. Some thumbnails for the baseball comic.
Baseball.
Because I just need another set of eyes after been staring at it for so long. But
does Hellboy have a mustache?
No, he does not. He has a goatee.
It's like a soul patch.
Come all the way.
And like
And he has
mutton chops, right?
Yeah, big old mutton chops.
Yeah.
Or little ones. Yeah, it looks great.
Hey.
And his he has an ear, right?
Yeah, they're very tiny though.
Oh, I forgot about the ear. Let me do the ear really quickly.
No, but I want to do more getting feedback from other people for sure. Very nice.
Yeah,
we talked about
it. He is sad, which is unfortunate.
Oh, I guess I could have done.
Hellboy.
That's just how he looks, though.
Angry? Because he's usually just angry all the time.
No, he's just got resting,
He's just
resting sad boy face.
He is a demon.
Is he a demon? Is he just like a sports mascot come to life?
I do love my mom because I put a bunch of Hellboy comics on my wish list every year. And she refuses to buy Hellboy for me because Hell is a name. And I've told her multiple times like about the story, the fact that he's from Hell and he's not actually like that's the whole point is that he's like
there we go.
Redeemed or whatever. And she's like, yeah, I get that. I just can't. And I was like, okay.
I just can't. The omnibus.
Kind of a fun joke at this point.
The whole omnibus pack, however you pronounce it, it's actually not that expensive.
I'm just gonna break out the Copics on this thing.
You're gonna bust out the Copics on this thing.
I'm gonna bust out the Copic and just start rendering. I'm just gonna have fun with some rendering.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm such a trade paperback boy with all my comics. Because I find sometimes that the omnibuses will either fall apart or they're just hard to open, like just because it's so thick.
Well, you also
what
got
do you
like
guys think?
This omnibus. It's basically all the trade paperbacks together.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, those are still manageable. Those are
comes with cool art.
That's very pretty.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten to hang out with one of those library editions?
Yes. Those are beautiful.
Those are pretty cool. If I was gonna buy them, that's what I would want.
Anderson, by the way, Iki would like to hear some progress on the baseball comic.
Okay.
Yeah. Anderson.
News.
I so wish that I could share my screen because I would show you guys some stuff, but since my whole camera setup tonight is not working right. It's going really well. I'm in a writing club that meets on next week, where we critique stuff. So I'm sharing the 3rd issue script with them for critique,
Nice.
and they've been very helpful to help kind of build some continuity and humanity, because I tend to get a little too hung up on like the action beats and forget about like scripting dialogue and things. So
yeah.
So issue 3, I it sucks because I'm like, yeah, it sucks.
It sucks.
What I'm hung
terrible.
up on is the
issue 3.
The format of trying to stick to 24 pages, right? But right now issue 3 is 36 pages. So I just let the script kind of come, and I might edit it down to 24 pages, but it just works so well as 36 right now. So I'm not opposed to editing. I don't want to be a slave to... I feel like nowadays comics are kind of like what happened to movies and TV shows when streaming happened, where before, specifically TV, before streaming, TV shows had to be 40 minutes because you had to allow 20 minutes for commercials and you had an hour slot, right? But now a TV show can be whatever length fits the story. So it kind of sucks because you don't, I believe that some of the best creative work comes out of limitations. So when you limit yourself saying, okay, I only have 40 minutes to play with, how do I tell a good story in 40 minutes? That's equally a good challenge as, well, here's my story. I'm going to take the time that I need to tell the story, right?
I think I mean, like for the first issue for a lot of comics, I think it's good to figure out like, all right, how many pages do I need to make this first issue? If you're doing like an issue rather than a graphic novel. And then once you actually edit it down to like a good size, then have the rest be around that same page count. Like that's what I've been doing with my current one.
Yes.
Like it's not 20 pages is longer than 24 for the first issue. And then the rest, I've been keeping it consistent with that.
That sounds like a really good plan that I should probably adopt, because the problem is issue 1 is a tight 24. Like it is real crisp 24 setup, boom, dad's your uncle.
Like
I don't think that's the expression, but
Bob's your uncle. Dad's your uncle. That's messed up.
Like an uncle grandpa thing. But yeah, so, and really the only reason, like, I broke the story up into 9 chapters because of baseball.
9 innings.
Exactly. So,
see, I know.
So
sports.
it's more like, what are 9 big beats that I can focus on? Because in between, there's all these little beats and stuff. and so there's not a place to cut it up at the 24-page mark, because the beat happens at 36, so it's tricky. But anyways, I've been just writing for the past like months on this, but this week I finally got into some thumbnailing, and I'm really excited, but I'm very nervous. Where is so the original mini that I did is 12 pages, and this was meant to be the first 12 pages of the story. But I've made a lot of changes to the world from this, so I can't use any of these pages. But I can use some of the compositions, because some of the compositions are still pretty good. So, like, this page I'm keeping, because this is gorgeous. This panel I'm keeping. That might be it.
And that's all I'm
no,
keeping.
this one I'm keeping most of it, but I'm changing this because this could be better. This is interesting, but it's not incredible.
Yeah.
So I want this to be incredible, this top panel. So
how many copies of that do you have left?
0. I sold out.
Oh, okay.
Well, this is the last one. I only did 25.
Nice. It's a limited run.
It was. Yeah, I numbered them and everything.
The original cover.
Oh, hey, love. Hiya. Unfortunately, my camera isn't working. I couldn't get it.
That is Anderson's wife. His love of life.
Anderson.
I'm just doing another voice. She
Anderson.
can't hear you, so because you're in my headphones.
The original cover for the Naturals.
Yes.
Where is that?
Oh, like the art?
Yeah.
I have it. I haven't sold any of the original Naturals art.
I was just curious.
Oh, speaking of original art, Anderson, what's the idea with the fire sale?
Oh, angst.
Okay.
Mostly.
That doesn't seem like a good place to be coming from.
So, for those of you that don't know, on my Instagram, I've been putting up pieces of art for sale for a week, and if it doesn't sell, then I've been burning it. So, a literal fire sale.
Yeah.
And mostly what it is I have this box of art. It's just full of art, and it doesn't move at cons. It just sits there. It's just kind of nothing. And I basically know the reason. So most of it is they're just drawings. They're not illustrations. So the difference I'll say there is that, like, it's a drawing of a dragon, but there's no story, right? So do I want to buy an original piece of art from someone? Yes. But I would prefer to have something that tells a story than just a drawing of something, right? So I definitely think that there's, the reason that these don't sell is because there's not all that much to it. But anyways, I'm just trying to do something silly.
Yeah.
It's pretty satisfying actually to watch it burn. I have to say.
That's interesting.
Just watching. So far I've done 2, and one of them, I've done 3, and one of the 3 has sold.
It was the fairy, the fox, and the wolf.
Yes, so the fox sold.
Yeah.
And that was pretty gratifying.
Is it? Do you have like a normal going rate for it? Iki wants to know.
They're usually around. I think the lowest has been 50.
Okay.
I think they've all been 50 actually.
Okay.
They've been various sizes as well. The interesting thing was the first one I picked, I wasn't like nervous about at all because I didn't really the drawing myself, which is kind of a terrible thing to say about a piece of art that I'm trying to sell.
Yeah.
Because if the artist doesn't like it, why should you, the buyer, like it? But that's why I picked that one first, because I was like, this is probably gonna burn, so I want to pick something that burn. But the fox, I was actually pretty nervous about, because I was like, I actually like this and think that this is pretty good, so this would be a bummer. And I think that might be the reason that it sold, actually, is because I was
you
more
really like
confident
that one.
about it. Yeah. And then the werewolf was kind of in the middle, where I was like, I could. It's not my favorite of the werewolf series that I did.
Yeah.
But I am pretty happy with how it turned out. So, all that to say, I'm gonna do it a little bit longer. We'll see. I did have someone tell me that they were really sad that I was doing it, and I was like, well, you're welcome to buy the piece.
Yeah.
Like, it's really is no skin, because here's the thing is if the artwork isn't selling,
yeah,
granted it might not have gotten in front of the one person that's actually interested in it, but it's just taking up space right now.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's why I was mostly interested in like what you were doing and the reasoning behind it, because obviously like your art's amazing, but I was like, why burn something that you worked?
Well, and I'm trying to make a bit of a Yeah, and I'm trying to make a bit of a spectacle about it instead. So a couple years ago, I threw out a big old box of art. I just threw it out in the trash. It was like all my art from college.
Weird.
And I was this time around, I was kind of just looking at it like, I should throw this stuff out. Like, this isn't going to go anywhere or do anything. And I was like, well, I could like have a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah.
In a send-off way. So I'm hopeful that this is a little bit more fun and kind of like playful. Yes, it's a little cynical. Okay, it's a lot cynical. But
I mean, it's your work though, so you could do whatever you want with it.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I essentially am trying to blackmail people into buying my art. So
you did say like you were saying, oh, maybe I shouldn't say like I don't really like this about this art because you don't want people to see it and like. Did you not just say that?
Well, what I said is like I maybe I shouldn't say that like I don't like this piece anymore, because it's kind of a bummer to say that, because why would you buy a piece of art that the artist doesn't like?
Then there's the consideration of if you're devaluing your art enough that you're just burning it versus and then expecting somebody to value it enough to buy it.
I know.
It's like the same. It's like okay, guy.
It's a big old catch-22 or something. I don't.
It's an interesting choice.
Yes.
It's not a bad one, but it is something I haven't seen before.
I was extremely tempted in that I thought about it for a couple minutes and decided not to make a video where I was doing this. I was going to do the same thing, but I was threatening to put it in my freezer. It's like you better.
You should do it.
Better snatch this up before I ice it.
I'm gonna ice this. I'm gonna put this thing on ice.
Just as a funny, and I decided it'd probably be funnier just to tell you.
Ridiculous.
Funny and easier.
No, I'm here for that.
And I like this. So, like every time I do anything where I start busting out the gray wash, I almost always prefer what it was like before, when it was black and white.
Well, luckily with this video too, you can look back on it, compare it. But it looks good. Little dark, but that's kind of your style.
It's very style.
It's just gonna have to get darker and darker.
Yeah. How are you guys feeling about your pieces?
Pretty good. I'm almost done. I'm just gonna kind of stop in a second. But Kristian, tell us about your new book. This year.
You mean next year? I'm not doing it for
Christmas. Right, yeah. I mean, we are at the end of the year. That's what I meant.
Got less than a month left. Yeah, doing a new book called We Call Them Myths. Basically, Hellboy meets Men in Black. Actually, the pre-launch page is up and live. So. But yeah, it's been What's that?
What you trying to get?
Right now, about 3,500. It's currently the
Cool.
plan, which is not impossible, but it's enough to finish paying Colton, who's the artist, and also enough for printing because I've already paid the colorist, who is Hank Jones. He's great.
Great colorist.
Amazing. Actually, local to Atlanta, too. And then I already paid the letterer, DC Hopkins, who's done so much stuff and like DC, Marvel, Image. Both of them are Ringo nominated, and they deserve to be Ringo winning. But yeah, that's a good time. Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, I basically, simple synopsis is a detective and his robot partner investigate cases based on cryptids and other myths. So
I got to see
Like
some of the art over
X-Files.
the summer.
yeah,
I got to see some of the art over the summer, and it is super fun.
it's
When I was a little kid, I called it
Both
X-Piles.
Colton's stuff and Hank's colors really pull it out. It's a lot of fun. I'm excited for it myself.
Well, that's the thing. I think Colt and I keep talking about this as well, because Colton's working on the art for issue 2 right now. But it's just been fun. Like the new pages Colton sends me, I'm doing a similar thing that you kind of talked about as well, Anderson, with your writing group. Is like, hey, we got to make sure that there's a story part of it, the character development. But
yeah,
I want to make sure that I'm having fun while doing it, and that's kind of like, it started out as a buddy cop story, and then Colton was like, hey, let's add a robot. I'm like, sure. And then I just grew with that character and gave him his own personality and everything. It was just, it's so dumb, but I'm having a blast with it. And if I'm not having fun, I'm not making anything.
no, yeah. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Stop.
So it's cool. But yeah, pre-launch page is up and live and running. So it's on my account, on my Instagram and Twitter. So if you're watching, you're not following, feel free to. There's some early bird rewards and some limited rewards coming soon.
Ooh, snazzy.
But yeah, and some other variant covers that are going to be soon announced. But yeah.
We need to talk about that.
Ooh, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
We should talk about it. That's all.
We can probably talk about it. But yeah. You guys got any other comic stuff you guys want to talk about before we end the stream? Anything else you want to promote?
I feel like we barely talked about any comic stuff.
It was fun.
I don't have anything to promote.
I don't think so. Yeah, pretty happy with this. I think I'm done.
Here, let's put you on the big screen. Show off your art. Ooh, is this gonna be part of your fire sale?
I'm gonna burn this tomorrow.
No, don't.
No, I'll probably sit on this for a while.
Yeah, show it off. Show people what we did.
I might still do a little bit to it. I'm pretty happy with this, actually. This is fun. There's a little bit of action, little something happened.
Nice. Iki asked also. Iki said they love some cryptids, and they asked, "Do you have any favorite cryptids? Do you guys have any favorites?"
Mothman.
Basic.
Yeah, it's not like basic like Bigfoot basic or Loch Ness basic.
Well, like
he's
Bigfoot,
like he's big. He's B tier.
Yeah. Well, like Mothman's probably the second most popular behind Bigfoot in America.
But it's not that. It's not just the Mothman. It's not like, oh, it's this thing. It's all the other stuff. It's this like the Silver Bridge and like all the Men in Black stuff around it and the Angel Cold stuff. Yeah, there's a lot wrapped up in it. It's a bigger story than most cryptids.
Yeah.
Yeah. My gut reaction was Mothman, but the Goat Man of Old Anton Bridge is actually probably my favorite. I've written a short story about it that I want to make into a comic. It's kind of on the back burner with some, but I had a publisher very briefly interested in it, so I'm still kind of waiting to hear if they want to do it.
Cool.
It was just very violent and goat man. So
Nice.
Violent and goat man.
I'll do it at some point if I don't get paid to do it. But
yeah, I think
that might be my new mini for next year.
That'd be cool. I know I love Mothman. But I think my favorite one is called the Snarly Yowl, which is basically a ghost dog. That's all it is.
Nice
dog.
Yeah, it just shows up and scares people, and then leaves. So
Snarly Yowl.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I thought.
I've never heard of that one.
Oh wait, it's fun.
Yeah.
Oh man, how would you guys feel if I just took this thing and just blacked out everything that's not white right now?
It would be the most heartbreaking thing to watch.
Honestly,
really, I do that sort of thing all the time.
Honestly, with the scale of the thumbnail right now, it kind of looks like you have.
I keep wanting to scale the darkness down more and more. Yeah, but I love to like sit there and like work at something and then just paint it black at the end. Because working it is when I find all the spots that are nice to have highlighted, and then I can get rid of everything else.
Yeah,
you should just make it all red. Add some color.
I don't have red, and I don't like the lighting on his dome right now. I was busting this guy out because I was like, how does that actually? Huh.
Interesting. By the way,
so
Stinker Bun says his favorite cryptid is Wendigo.
Wendigo.
Iki says the skunk.
Have you read the? Ooh, the skunk ape. Have you read the James Herron's Wendigo story?
I have not.
It's a BPRD adventure. Let me find it.
Ooh, please send it. Because I just learned more about the Wendigo, and that thing's terrifying.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so yeah, sometimes I like to. Oh wait, y'all can't see this the way I see it. I like to bust out this mannequin head from my little figure.
Mannequins. From your closet full of mannequins.
It's from one of these guys. I got one of these guys. It's cool. Sticky figs. Buy them when they're on sale. But the head is pretty decent for getting like various types of lighting.
That's nice.
And,
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That center line is pretty helpful.
Yeah, the center line's good, but yeah, so I'm seeing like how I don't like the dome lighting, and I'm seeing like, oh, there's a reason for it. It's a little weird and flat. And I was thinking that the light did something else here, but I was wrong. So let's fix that, and then I'll be happy. Hilarious. I like a good old fashioned. See, does that count? That's the thing. What I wonder about is the difference between folklore and a cryptid, where and the Wendigo seems to be in a weird spot because
basically a cryptid from the actual definition is anything that hasn't been proven yet. So, I mean, there's a lot of creatures that were technically cryptids that got proven to be real, like the horse bat, or even gorillas at one point were considered to be cryptids until people would like, oh, those things are real.
Yeah, okay.
So, but the Wendigo is, even though it's
explicitly supernatural.
It technically is, yes.
Which I feel like makes it a little different.
Well, there's history with it being like, oh, people are infected with the Wendigo disease as well.
So it's what the like the Salem witches.
Yeah.
Where the town was getting into some bad mushrooms or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it made them crazy.
It's like I was looking this up this morning too because I was showing Corinna the jackrabbit or the jackalope. That was it.
Yeah.
The jackrabbit. I'm like, that's a thing.
So that's
No,
an example where it's like, that's clearly not a cryptid.
Well, the jackalope is a cryptid.
Why would that be a cryptid?
Because they only
It's a
rabbits
practical
don't.
joke.
Well, actually, it didn't start out that way. Turns out rabbits have a disease where they'll
Oh,
start growing
yeah.
horns, and it is
Yeah.
terrifying. I do not
Oh,
recommend
it's-
anyone to look it up. It is heartbreaking and scary.
Yeah.
Oh, dang it! I have to look this up now.
It doesn't look like a jackalope. They'll grow like bones out of their face, and it makes it so they can't eat.
Yeah.
So they die.
So
like-
it is
That's
scary.
Yeah.
That
I
was
was
like-
for this to end so I can look that atrocity.
That
know
was
what?
like
That's
one of
like-
the first things people looked up.
I'm glad you brought that up. Because
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Like that's a. But it's also or like the Fiji mermaid or something like that, where it's
Yeah.
like explicitly not real. But then, if a Wendigo is just a crazy guy, well, that's just a crazy guy.
yeah.
Sometimes guys be crazy.
But
great.
but anyway, well, you have all the stuff and like different folklores around the world, like.
That's what's so
Beyond,
cool
like-
about it.
But I wouldn't think of like a kappa, like a Japanese kappa or something like that. I wouldn't think of that as a cryptid. That's like an explicitly supernatural spirit.
I think of it
little
like
oni.
a Venn diagram where it's like there's overlappingness. It's like aliens. Is that considered part of cryptozoology? Because sometimes
I
people
would
can't prove it.
You
Yeah,
can't prove
so
it
I-
at
I would
all
say.
So,
currently.
Well,
just saying.
welcome to cryptids and comics. We're
Anyway,
I feel like maybe cryptid should be a little bit more robust in its definition.
I mean, but that's a thing. Like, cryptids aren't
'Cause-
like one defined thing. There's no like real science behind it.
no, but I know what you mean. Keith,
But it is a
where it's like-
word.
Yeah.
yeah, like what does it actually mean?
Because I mean, there has to be something. Otherwise, like you could have ghosts in there. Ghosts are obviously not cryptids, so why? I know that there's got to be something more to it.
There's some taxonomy type deal going
It's
on.
not a you know it when you see it situation. It's like there's definitely some sort of descriptor. But I'm glad you're writing about it.
It's fun. It's a well, I think that's what interested me about it because there's so much about cryptids and everything, but there's so little explained. So it gives you enough options to kind of make up your own thing.
I think that the reason I like Mothman is also the reason that the Buffalo Bills is my football team. Is just because of childhood.
Oh,
Yeah, like my grandpa gave me a Buffalo Bills cap when I was like 5, and that was
Yeah.
my hat when I was a little kid. So that became like that was my thing. And it's like all the arbitrary reasons people have their football teams that aren't from the areas that they live in. Like all the
Yeah.
people who are in the Green Bay who have never been to Wisconsin. Green Bay,
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Sure.
Okay. But yeah, so there was a book at my local library when I was a little kid, when I was probably 7 or 8, that was all about, and I owned multiple like cryptid books when I was a little kid. But this one was at the library, and it had all of these pencil drawings in it of each thing.
Mhm.
And the pencil drawing for the Mothman one was just super visually arresting to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can see it, and I have no idea how accurate what's in my brain is to what it was. But I
Yeah.
feel like if you saw that image, it would explain a lot. You'd be like, I could see that. I could see
Well-
why that would be such a big deal to you.
Do you
But
think Mothman's a good guy or a bad guy? Or just an animal?
I don't
Just
think any of that. It's more of a look at all these cool interpretations and weird versions of this idea.
Okay.
Yeah. I do prefer the version of him that has a head.
Is there one without a head?
Yeah, like he a lot of times he's uh, like it's as if you had a torso with
Mhm.
wings, and then the eyes are like here on the chest,
Ooh, I don't like that.
and there's no like head up here. I
Yeah, I
see
don't
that
like
kind of
that.
thing all the time.
See, I prefer the muscular Mothman, the one who looks like he's been working out nonstop.
Yeah, yeah, like he's like the
Buff boy.
Jacked Mothman.
like William Blake watercolor Mothman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I
Anyway, but
like.
that picture of the Mothman, like I really wish I could find that book. Like and this is a thing I've tried. I've tried, but as you may know, there are a stupid number of books
Yep.
on these kinds of things, and I'm
Oh,
trying to find something that is over 20 years old.
yep.
Yep.
I recently read one called "The United States of Cryptids," which is
Mm-hmm.
basically like every cryptid where it's at, and like the guy on
Where
the
it's at.
author. What's that?
Oh, I was just being dumb.
Oh. But yeah,
Anyway.
basically he just talks about different areas and what cryptids are there, and like how certain towns or cities actually made a big deal out of it, and some of them were like, "Yeah, we don't really want to talk about it." But he also talks about how like I don't know, like he's talked to other people who've read books, but there was only like 3 books 20 years ago during that time. So he's like, now there's a lot more, but like 20, 30 years, I guess not 20 years, I guess 40 years now. Keep thinking 20 years is 1980s. But like 40 years ago, there was just nothing. Very few things besides stuff you can get at like gas stations and like weird shops.
Yeah.
I did really like that Mothman Prophecies movie.
There's a movie?
Oh, is this news?
Yeah.
This is news.
Yeah,
This is breaking news.
there was a movie that came out probably like 1999 called The Mothman Prophecies,
Ooh.
starring Richard Gere.
What?
Deborah Messing's in it for a second. Uh, and
It's called The Mothman Prophecies.
yeah. Now that being said, I'm pretty sure it's not very good, but I did like it a lot.
Did I
And
ask for a good movie?
and I saw it as a teenager. I rewatched it as a teenager, and I still liked it.
Yeah.
It's got some moments. If you go watch this, yeah, there's some good stuff that's like trailer moments that work in the movie. There's a thing with a chapstick that's like a trailer moment that I still was like, yeah, they did a good job with that.
I'll try to check it out.
Yeah, it's it's literally it's like a journalist or something who's investigating Mothman stuff in town at the time of the bridge collapse.
Yeah.
Like he's investigating it all around when the stuff is about to happen. So yeah, I guess it works with my general morbid interest in disaster and
Iki says it wasn't a very good movie, and it was Richard
well,
Gere.
I said all that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Iki's just laying down the facts after I laid down the facts. Double facts coming at you.
I'm gonna listen to Iki over you. I think Iki knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, thanks Iki for.
Iki is able to Google stuff at the moment. Like I don't have that. I can Google.
I think Iki's just smart. I'm good with that. But yeah. How you guys feeling about your sketches?
I like it better the darker it gets. I should probably put my thing on it. We're gonna do it right here.
Alright, I'm gonna do one last full shot of everyone's art.
What?
Because I've been changing the screens to kind of give you guys more room on the screen.
Oh.
Yeah. See, I'm not just a pretty face. I've been doing some stuff.
Ta-da.
Ooh. Fade over to Anderson. Ooh. Ooh.
Snaky boy.
Nice. You put the Hand of Doom on the wrong side.
It looks like it's on the right side.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, you're.
Okay.
I was sitting here like, no, I did what? Huh?
I just wanted to scare Anderson a little bit.
Messing with me, man. I got a mini heart attack.
Whenever I want to remember, I just think of the Nick Cave song. This guy knows what I'm talking about.
We'll show Keith's art. Nice.
Is there anything you need me to do? Should I
Did you
wiggle it?
blacking it out?
You want to move it around?
It looks like you did.
Did I do what?
Did you end up blacking it out? It looks like you did.
No, it's just real dark.
Real dark.
Real dark. No, I can't really move my camera much because it's attached to the light.
Oh, I was talking about the art. Oh no.
Oh. Uh-oh. Hold up.
Dear.
We're having some technological differences.
Differences?
That's I think that's an Idiocracy thing.
That's a good movie.
Have you seen it recently?
Not recently. I think it's been about a few years.
Oh, okay. That's one of those movies. It's like if you saw it as a teen, you probably shouldn't watch it again.
Just let it sit in your memory.
Yeah, keep those good memories.
Hilarious. All right. Well, you guys got any parting words of wisdom before
I just
we
want to hang out.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Just go have fun. Burn stuff. Burn your art.
This was a good time. I don't suggest burning your art, but make things weird.
Yeah, I don't have anything to recommend. I've been reading chronologically through Mad Men.
It's great, isn't it amazing?
Oh, I
for a second never. I was like,
there's. Go ahead.
Not Mad Men.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Was like they made something? No.
No.
You mean?
No.
With
Michael Allred.
Mike Allred.
Yeah, that was. I'd never like chronologically read through the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's a good time because
it's fun, and he's just a good character.
Yeah, and his whole thing is definitely. I don't know that. Well, I think it would show. He's definitely the biggest influence as far as not me looking at artists and wanting now,
mm-hmm.
but the biggest sea change.
Yeah.
As far as how I saw art and what it could be in comics was there was me as a 10-year-old kid who was just copying Witchblade pages and stuff and that old sketchy Jim Lee, Michael Turner style.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was and then I saw Mike Allred when he was doing the last few issues of X-Force, and then he started on X-Statix.
Yep.
And then I found the Mad Men stuff in the quarter bins at my local comic shop when I was 11. But yeah, that seeing that stuff for the first time just completely changed how I drew and what I thought about. Because I was so used to, and now you see myself I don't mess around with the Jim Lee school stuff at all. But,
with the what is it called? Hatch crossing.
Yeah, with the hatching, the people's the physiques just being insane. I really enjoy naturalistic proportions and drawing butts and bulges.
Hilarious.
Yeah, you gotta have a good bulge if there should be. Weird not to include it. I think that's probably his greatest contribution.
And occasionally.
Oh, I'm so excited. I know we weren't so I don't know if I've ever told you about that, Anderson, but the Stardust book thing and with him in it is so jazzed up about that.
That's awesome.
Oh, you
Yeah.
working on the book with him? Or the book that
Yeah.
he's also a part of? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the story I've been having Anderson go through, but that's like a massive deal to me. Like,
That's awesome.
Of
yeah,
course, dude, it's huge. It's so cool.
You're gonna have your
just
name right next to his.
at least sharing a page, I hope, at the beginning. I hope,
I'll buy a copy and write your name next to his.
but it definitely like turned on the heat because it's like, oh my God, I think like it's not just his name. There's like Jesse Lonergan's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just this list of people that are in this book who are going to be getting copies of this. And I'm just like, oh, okay. I gotta do really good. This has got to be like the best I can do right now. So like I'm really spending time on pages, like
That's good.
way more than
It's good to
normal.
have that bit of fear.
Yeah, like today was basically devoted to uh 2 panels. I should say one of the panels is a really big panel and it has 11 people in it. And I had to redraw the whole thing after I'd gotten through I just about finished it and I was like, this isn't working.
It's an all black panel.
Isn't that the worst feeling? It's just like, no.
No, actually, I mean the thing is that I think in a lot of other situations I would just say I've already done this work and this is what it's going to be. But because of this situation, it's like I'm comfortable saying, well, I just wasted however many hours, but this isn't going to be it. I'm going to make this better. And having the gift of like time and support to be able to, make that call.
Yeah.
Yeah. So page 5, just 3 pages left.
Well, hey, that's something you got looking forward to that people can check out. The Stardust book.
Yeah. I don't think people can buy it now. There's no
Well,
reason for me to promote it because it got crowdsourced on Zoop.
yeah, but
So
whenever it gets released, that'll probably be something that Van's gonna sell at conventions.
maybe,
I would
yeah,
imagine.
I don't know. I haven't talked about like how he's planning on handling that part of it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it'll
yeah,
work out. It'll be great. Hopefully, some good
Stardust
stuff.
thing. So that's the second Fletcher, what's his name, character that I've worked on. Like
It
That's
is,
awesome.
yes.
yeah,
Well,
awesome.
got that to look forward to. I'm gonna end the stream by saying, hey, thanks for everyone for watching. I appreciate all of you, Iki, Stinker Buns, and even Susan for commenting. It was nice. Hope you guys enjoy the art. I did. Mine sucks compared to these guys, but it was a good time.
Different strokes.
Yeah, we'll probably do another one these next year, next month.
Next year,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
These are so easy to do.
so much fun.
They're
I
so
just gotta
easy.
figure out the tech side. Then it'll be all hunky dory.
Hey, you know what? We're doing different things. But yeah, you can follow Anderson. I think if most of you aren't, I think most of you are, but at Anderson Carmen. And then Keith is at Keith Browning Art. And I'm at Yes That Christian. So thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time.